Joining us now is Alex Wilson, a sixth-generation pear grower here in Sacramento County. Alex, thank you so much for having us out here in your orchard and explaining what's going on.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
So from your perspective, what is happening with pear growers in this area?
Yeah, we're under a lot of challenges at the moment, both from the cannery side and the fresh market side. So I don't know if you've seen the news, but there was a closure of a major cannery in Modesto called Del Monte, and that has had some issues with pear growers here locally. And then we've also had some fresh market challenges as well, and that's mainly been driven by imports. And so that's had, both of those combinations have had a really negative impact on our pear growing situation here in California.
What exactly is the impact? Like, what is it specifically that you go through that's a problem?
So this year specifically, we saw a major rise in Argentina imports. And what that, normally when we sell our fruit, the market's open. You know, we're the first to market. We're the first American pear, so to speak, to hit the grocery store shelves. But what kind of happened this year was there was an influx of imported fruit. And then from there, that caused our marketing capabilities to kind of be squashed. And so our efforts were not good in the sense that the fruit wasn't able to move. So
with this orchard being sixth generation, I mean, this is a pear tree?
These are 80-year-old trees behind us. You know, from an efficiency standpoint, what we do is when we see a weak tree or an old tree that needs to come out, what we do is we take it out and then we replant it with a new one and then raise it up. But the situation with pears is it takes about 10 years for a pear tree to come into production. So almonds, wine grapes, olives, other commodities take a lot longer or a lot shorter to come into production. Pears, it takes a lot longer. And so once you see a pear orchard get removed, chances are that it's not coming back into a pear orchard just because of the economics, the labor challenges, the challenges that we face as pear growers. The industry is getting smaller and smaller, and given these market conditions, as we talked about earlier, it's only getting harder to farm pears. But you know, the other cool thing about pears is that we have trees that are over 100 years old, and it's not like a traditional commodity where, you know, after 25 years the tree comes out. Pear trees can last a really, really long time here in the Delta. And so from a community standpoint, the industry is facing a lot of challenges given imports and the things discussed earlier. But we remain optimistic. That's why you see kind of like a 1-year-old pear tree right next to an 80-year-old pear tree, because once we see one that's sick, we want to remove it and plant with a fresh one. And we're hoping that this industry it gets better. Is our hope.
Is pear like a forgotten fruit? Do you feel like that?
No, I mean, you know, the reality is I think the consumer is used to just seeing pears on the shelf year round. And that may sound normal to people like you and I, but historically that wasn't normal. You know, historically it was, oh, pears are in season now, let's go get them, they're on the shelf. And it was like a fresh fruit. What I think consumers could use now is to recognize the difference between what's on the shelf and then what California is providing. Because California is providing fresh fruit that's not treated with 1-MCP. The fruit that is coming over from Argentina is treated with a material called 1-MCP that has a direct impact on the ripening process of that fruit. And so you're not getting fresh fruit from Argentina.
It doesn't taste as good.
No, and it doesn't. That's part of the problem, is it doesn't taste as good. And when you go eat a pear from Argentina and you're like, oh, I don't really like pears. I didn't have that nice yellow, like juicy pear that you could get from California. And that's how California is trying to differentiate ourselves, is like, we're not only fresh, we're local, and it's from the U.S. It's not from, you know, Argentina. It's not treated with materials that are affecting the ripening process.
If this issue with pears isn't solved, do you have concerns about how other crops are handled moving forward too?
Yeah, I hope it's solved. You know, we've been doing this for generations now, and I remain hopeful that the community, the state, and the federal government can maybe have some sort of influence on what we're facing as growers. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking for sure. But I try to remain optimistic. As you can see, we have baby trees that are planted right next to old ones, and so you have to remain positive. farmers in general have to be eternal optimists. That's what gets people waking up in the morning, and despite market conditions, pressure, labor challenges, we have to have something that you have to remain optimistic. So,
What's your message to lawmakers directly who could handle this?
that's a good question. My message was support local pear farmers in California would be my message, and maybe they could learn about the challenges that we're facing. And I think Chris has touched on some really good points. But I'm just a farmer, so I'll let those people talk to the lawmakers. So
California is known for putting regulations and strict ones on every business, really for the environment and labor. What about that makes California pears different and the situation different?
I think in comparison to Argentina, we definitely have a lot stricter of policies, from labor to audits. Just this ranch alone, the one we're here right now, we go through 6 audits a year. That's a food safety audit, a Primus audit, a social responsibility audit. We are looked at every single different way on the way we farm. And ultimately, I think that our competitors in Argentina aren't held to those same standards. And I hope that the community understands that we're just trying to provide the best fresh product to the state and the country. And we're just trying to level the playing field a little bit. So,
All right. Alex, appreciate your time.
yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Appreciate it.